Hey y'all, I'm Tammy and this is Collard Valley Cook, and today we are making a delicious Mexican scramble. Let's get started. Okay, this is a recipe for leftover beef to make it go further. You're only going to use 1 cup of chopped cooked beef. So it's supposed to serve 6. I don't know how in the world it would do that. I think it's going to serve more like 3 or 4. I'm also going to cook the rice in the dish instead of serving it as a side. And that way it'll all be in one pot. We're going to get started. I'm going to show you what ingredients we're going to use. We're going to use a green pepper, some onion, tomato juice, salt, a can of corn, and I'm choosing shoe peg because I would rather have a corn that's not as sweet in a Mexican dish. My leftover beef. Instead of brown rice, I am going to use this yellow rice. We're going to be using some chili powder. And that's it. We'll start with our vegetables and getting them prepped because you're going to saute them with the beef first. It only calls for a tablespoon of chopped bell pepper, all right, it calls for 3 tablespoons of chopped onion. I think this is going to be really delicious. Looking forward to eating it. Now, of course, it's a Mexican dish, so if you want to add or subtract something to it, go ahead. Remember, this is an old-fashioned recipe out of a very old cookbook, and so they're using very simple ingredients. So if you want to add something, a special spice or maybe some jalapenos, then I would. So there's our pepper and onion. Now we're going to chop up our leftover beef. All right, this is tender beef, and it was seasoned with a very strong soy seasoning. I wanted to use my leftover beef, and I thought that this was a very good way to use it. The recipe tells you to fry this until it's crispy. And it's supposed to be a cup of beef, and I think we have that. It's amazing what you can do with leftovers when you got a good recipe. Now, if for any reason your beef was seasoned with a different type seasoning that you would want for this Mexican dish, you can put it in the colander and rub it between your hands and rinse it really well. That's what I did to this beef because it actually had a soy pineapple type seasoning with a lot of pepper. And it was actually marinated in that seasoning before I even made the tenderloin in the oven. So I want to make sure this beef doesn't have too strong a flavor of that opposite seasoning. And what I'm doing now is just drying it off a little bit because when I put it in the oil with the onion and pepper to fry it, I don't want it to pop me. Now I think we're ready to go over to the stove and start our dish. Today I'm going to be using my iron skillet. And I'm going to turn it on. We're going to put a little bit of oil in it and brown our onion. And let's use butter today. How about it? We're going to put some butter in here. Let it start melting. Then we're going to add our vegetables and meat. And we're going to cook them until the vegetables are soft and the beef is brown. So I'm going to cook it on high. So our vegetables. This is also a good recipe, even if you don't have leftover steak. You could use a steak and just make this recipe on its own and just have your steak cut up in cubes. It doesn't have to be pre-cooked really because it's going to simmer for 30 minutes in here. So if you want to use a fresh steak and make it feed more than one person, that's an easy way to make a steak and make it go further. This is a great recipe to do that. So what we're going to do now is let this brown. While that's browning, we'll get our other ingredients ready. All right, we're going to open up a can of corn. And I'm going to drain it, and that way I know how much liquid is in it since we're going to make our rice with this dish. It doesn't look like it has a lot of liquid. That's a lot of corn. That's a good deal. Yep, it's mostly corn. Well, that's easy enough. I know I don't have to say that I include this liquid in with my recipe. If you have yellow corn in your pantry, and most yellow corn is full of liquid, you may want to drain the liquid off of it. But this corn is obviously a great buy. I'm going to taste it and see how sweet it is. It's a little sweet. It's really delicious. We're going to be using, I'm going to go ahead and leave that in there. We're going to be using 1.5 cups of tomato juice. And this is a cup, and then we'll add the other half in a minute. We could go ahead and put our spices in here. You're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder, and 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. So I'm going to use 2 of these to get a teaspoon. We're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of salt because I think this may actually have salt in it. Let me see if it does. Yes, my rice has salt in it, so I'm going to decrease the salt in the recipe portion. Okay, this is browning good. That's what you want it to do. Looking pretty. Now we're going to add our tomato juice. Turn this down to simmer. And I'm going to cook my rice in this dish instead of just serving it over rice. So what we're going to do is add our rice to it. Now, we got 1.5 cups of tomato juice in here. And let's see how much rice we've got. I'm going to use whatever's left in my bucket. Should be about a 1/2 cup, I think, or a 1/3 cup. We're going to see if it's a 1/2 cup. So let's say a 1/2 cup of rice. Now this rice has spices in it and it has salt in it. So I think this is a good rice to use for this. I think it would be delicious. We're going to add it to there. Instead of adding 2 parts water for that rice, since I got so much tomato juice in there, I'm just going to put in 3/4 cup. So it's a 1/2 cup of rice and 3/4 cup of water. And we're going to stir it. Make sure that rice is down in there good, because it's got to cook. All right. We got everything in there except what? The corn. So we're going to go ahead and add the corn. And I went ahead and stirred up that rice good first, so it's kind of down in the bottom, because you want it, make sure it gets done. So we're just going to put the corn on the top, because we don't want to shove rice to the top and it not get in the liquid that it needs. So you're going to put your corn in last. What a delicious dish. Now you're going to cover it and simmer it for 30 minutes. Put your timer on. The first time I ever cut up an avocado online, I actually peeled it. But I've learned over the years that if you just slice it and you can squeeze the nut out of the middle instead of trying to get it out with a knife, it works beautifully if your avocado is perfectly ripe. So we are going to take a knife and we're going to slice these in the shell, and you need to be very careful not to let that tip of the knife go through and cut your fingers. Use a small paring knife to do this, not a large chef knife. That would be a little safer. These are my favorite tomatoes. They are Camphamares, and I'll show you how to spell it on the screen. They have a lot of flavor, very similar to a homegrown tomato if you can't get them. These are the best tomatoes, even if they're small. I tend to grab a container of these before I grab anything else. Now we are going to mix up our sour cream and make sure it's nice and creamy. You want to serve it when it's creamy. All right, we're going to reach around behind us and get our Mexican scramble. And now my stovetop cooks a little higher than most on low because it does have a larger heat source. But here is our delicious meal. I'm going to get me something to mix it up with. I'm going to stir it up really good, and you can see there's a little bit of juice in there. It's perfect because in a few minutes that juice, once it sits for a minute and the rice continues to soak in some of it, it's going to be the perfect consistency. I'll show you that now. I am having to do a voiceover today because our microphone wasn't turned on, so that's why it's a little different, but this footage was really good and it was a beautiful serving, and I wanted to use it and not redo it. So I'm dipping out a serving. It said it would serve 6, but to me it serves 4 at the most. It's according to how much you want to eat of it. And let me tell you, when you take a bite of this, it is so good that you are going to want more than likely. We're going to put a little sour cream on it. Add a few of these pretty tomatoes in the corner. We're going to take a large tablespoon and scoop out our avocado, and then I'm going to put it at the bottom of the boat and make it really pretty. I'm also going to add a few jalapenos for Chris. This is going to be his serving, and he loves jalapenos. Look how pretty that turned out, y'all. It's gorgeous. But Chris said before he even took a bite, he said, I am not hungry right now, so I'm not going to eat this right now. And I said, well, just taste it. Y'all, he just kept digging in it and digging in it and getting a bite and getting a bite. And, you know, I thought about adding more spice to it or more Mexican spices to it, but I'm going to tell you, this turned out so good, I don't think I changed a thing. And it was just absolutely delicious. So I'm going to taste it now, and you will see by the look of my face, I love it. Y'all, this is a recipe that uses leftover beef, and let me tell you, it is so good. And when you grab that sour cream and get a bite with the sour cream, it's even better. It's a very good recipe out of this old cookbook again, and it's a winner Mexican dinner. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Y'all come back and see us here on Collard Valley Cooks, cooking up this old Southern cooking, and we'll see you next time. Love ya. Bye.